And we were saying before this morning over lunch, and it was like, this tournament is so unforgiving. The quality of players, one simple mistake, and you're out of the tournament.
You know, frankly, Apollo, I think that speaks a ton about some of the games that we've seen right here on the stage. I mean, when you've got that sort of a format, it almost forces the best out. I mean, how are you going to get a game like Kiwikaki and Stefano in a situation where it's like, hey, I have got to stay alive because if I lose, I'm done. There is no second chance. And I think that is absolutely amazing thing. So let's introduce our players, ladies and gentlemen, who are going to be cross-positioned today. Our purple Terran in the north. Let's give it up for him. He goes by TSL aLive. And if you're a Zerg fan, maybe a Team Liquid fan, let's give it up for the red Zerg player spawning in the south. It's Liquid Rhett.
And I'm pretty sure Rhett is the remaining Team Liquid member left in the tournament, as we saw Hero leave earlier. So he's not only riding hopes, you know, for himself, it's for his team, for the community as well. So he's got a lot to do within this game. And we do have aLive just poking out with an SCV, just checks, is the Overlord there? So he actually already knows where Rhett is. And that's a really smart decision to do, especially on this map, because if he was close by air, he could have actually gone for like 2 racks, one on the higher ground, one on the lower ground. We're seeing one, I really doubt he'll go for a second one, knowing that it is cross position.
Yeah, he's going to throw this down on the low ground now, just give him a little bit of extra, or I guess less distance for those Marines to trek their way across the map. And we already see Rhett going for Overlord placement. And throughout the game, just keep an eye. You mentioned last game just how good Rhett is at scouting. And you will notice these moments where he gets his Overlord in position and almost like clockwork, he sends them in, he gets a nice little vision of what's going on, and he brings them out. And the longer, of course, he can do that without sacrificing the glorious supply that they give, the better off he'll be, eventually just sacrificing one to get full information. But you were right, we don't have a second racks coming out here. We do have a gas down as well, and they have just started mining. So moving over is the first drone going out. There, the first drone is going out, but this, of course, behind the hatchery and the pool and a gas here for Rhett.
And I don't actually think this SCV and drone are going to cross paths, or just about. Okay, he does turn around, so he does see it. And the drone is going to be able to go in and see the barracks placement, and Rhett's going to know, all right, I just need to pull 2 drones down. I know it's not really heavy harassment. I don't need to do what I did in game 1. And even though he did pull so many drones in game 1, he played so well after that anyway. And I wouldn't be surprised if we just saw it pick up and directly into the reactor Hellion. It's very viable, especially on this map as well, because the natural area is so spread out.
Oh, this Overlord knows that he is in trouble. Actually, the Marine going out to scout, he denied the drone vision. The SCV coming up and thinks that there might be something going on here. I feel like Rhett thinks there might be something going on here. And he goes and scouts the northeast position. This Marine is actually in a dangerous position to possibly catch this Overlord, but no, it looks like Rhett will be saved, and that is just a horrible, horrible thing when that does happen. Looks like SCV is going to be taken down, so no early pressure here. A potential for an OV kill, but he did deny him vision into the base.
Yeah, I mean, that was actually really smart. I didn't really focus on that too much, but Rhett pulled it back just at the right time so that the Marine missed it. And the Marine actually thought it was further ahead of itself than it actually was because of that, and actually didn't check back. So that was pretty safe and kind of clutch there by Rhett, and he's going to go and get around the back of that base. And he's still got 3 in gas, so we're going to see that incredibly fast layer again. Usually the timings we've seen, which has become almost standard because of Dongray Gu, is you take 2 out of gas, you have the 1 in, and you're like 4, all the way to 100, then you hit the layer. But Rhett is doing it at a different time here.
Now, I mean, it seemed to work in game number 1 quite nicely. So the one thing I'm kind of asking myself is, will it come down to the need for Rhett to make Banelings? And he's going to try to sneak a Zergling through here to see what is there. He did not get vision of those 2 Hellions. And right now, I mean, we have the reactored Hellions coming out. We do have Stim going down. We do have a Spine Crawler here. So I feel like Rhett's in a really good position. He's got at least his Natural starting to get back up here. He doesn't have, I mean, we could see the Hellions make their way into the main if they really wanted to, but we are going to see the lair finish up here shortly. If he keeps on that, he does deny the creep tumor, which is nice, but I think he's just going to go ahead and zone the Zerg here.
And it's a bit of a rematch from game 1, to be honest. Both of them using exactly the same build. And this time, I'm sure aLive won't push out with minimal forces again, so we'll have to see how he does do. And if he plays like he did in Game 2, Ret could be in a bit of trouble, but these Hinds, no, they're going to be okay. They'll be able to get behind the structure and kill most of these Lings off, actually.
Yeah, actually, I think Ret wanted those already low-health Hellions, and that allowed aLive to get a few more kills than he probably needed to here. Meanwhile, we do have a bunch of racks going down now for aLive, and he's also throwing down his starport as well. This, of course, coinciding here with the lair finishing up, but we don't have a Spire here quite yet. Yeah, we do.
It's been put down, yeah. I mean, this is an incredibly low drone kind of style from Ret. I mean, he's only at 38 right now. He was just at about 30 because he went for the layer so fast here. And this is, I mean, it is a little bit risky if there was any really fast early pushes out because he literally doesn't have any money to build anything. And he's just holding on with a few, well, the Spine Crawl and a few Lings. And let's see, I'm looking at the vision of aLive. He doesn't really see anything that would indicate that Ret has gone for this super fast layer once again. So, I mean, he's already adapted his timings to the way Ret plays.
Exactly.
And that's exactly how aLive is such a good player. As we saw against Stefano was going for his known 1-1 Ling style, and even in the game, he adapted. He stopped building tanks, he went only Marines, and that is something that makes aLive a fantastic player, and as you can see the engineering very nice and early.
Yeah, I mean, it was really, really early, and not only that going to allow him to get those extra upgrades, but also be completely prepared for the Mutalisk. And at the end of the day, Ret's Mutalisk control is what really sort of gave him that advantage. So to be able to stop that, especially early on, and hold on, we have a few Lings moving out here. They are going to get vision of this force moving forward with, once again, Ret finding himself without any Banelings at this point. We do not have a Baneling nest at all. There's no one to be found. And here we go, moving up to the top. He does,
3 Queens, though,
yeah,
going to push that Medivac away, which is really nice defense there from Ret. And now we have 9 Mutalisks. We're going to have 6 pop out first, and then the following 3. So he's only going to have 6 straight off the bat here. But this only Marine style, there's no tanks whatsoever. He doesn't need tanks because he's not playing against Banelings, really. And this is pretty difficult composition for Ret to deal with. But does he have too many Lings and Mutalisks here?
I don't know. It looks like he wants to push forward. He wants to press the issue here. There are quite a few immunities. He might just be posturing up, puffing his chest a little bit, say, come at me, bro, but is not going to be the case here, as we will see aLive just back off, and I think that's a smart thing to do. He lost game 1 because of a failed early engagement. I do not think he wants that to happen a second time. Here we've got the Hellions moving out, and Ret has zoned his opponent, I think, back to his base. I have a feeling that Ret's going to be able to poke in here and start doing some damage with his mutas.
Yeah, it's all going to come down to aLive defense now. If he starts taking heavy damage like he did in game 1, Ret can easily take this game. And especially with the kind of spawn positions too, Ret's always going to be able to expand. The thing is, though, I think aLive's going to be up to the task now. He's split his Marines up really well. He's got a nice early +1 that's about to finish and will definitely help out against Ret's Mutalisk control.
Oh, the mutas catch 1, 2 of the Hellions. There's the stim forward, but the mutas know the Marines are right behind him. And once again, just a miscontrolled battle. Does see a few units go down. It's not the biggest deal to lose a couple of Hellions, but honestly, when that is at least the bulk of your offensive army, it is kind of a scary thing. The Baneling nest is done as we see Baneling speed on the way. There are no tanks that I see yet, but siege mode's coming, and here's the attack. It might be a perfect time to attack here by Ret. He surrounds with the Lings. The mutas are going in, but he has to come back. He's not quite ready. If he would have had even a few Banelings, Apollo, that would have been game ending.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is what Ret did is he didn't take the gases on the 3rd base. He spent a lot of money in Lings and Mutalisk there to do that attack, which didn't work out so well for Ret. So Ret's a little bit behind because of that. I mean, he's only at 60 drones when he could have been a lot higher, but here comes his feared Mutalisk harassment. Yeah,
I mean, there's just a handful of medevacs out too, so any sort of force stim is going to be phenomenal. Coming out of Ret is, I'm trying to, yeah, there's only 2 medevacs at this point, and again, Ret is looking to hit that critical mass of Mutalisk. Right now, we take a look at the unit tab, see that he's at 18. That's already higher than what he had at his max in game number 2. So he's certainly looking much more like he did in game number 1, trying to run the tempo and the pace of this matchup and limiting aLive to what he is capable of doing.
And he realizes that aLive has almost minimal tanks, if not 0. So what do you do against that, DJ Weed?
You make a lot of banelings, and I think it's a smart thing to do. There's only 2 in the back, and you know what? It's the gas goes into one or the other. He's going to clean up everything here. I don't think he knows that it's coming.
He can even snipe the CC.
He's going to be able to get even one good hit on the Marines. Could finish the game, and there the banelings aren't even going to split. Will they go in? Oh, they're going to go all the way in. The one take does go down. Oh, the banelings make it right to the end, but maybe a little too overconfident. Yeah, that was a lot of gas.
Yeah, 28 banelings. I think he should have just gone and sniped off the planetary fortress, to be honest. As soon as he saw tanks on the low ground, he's like, this is not going to work out well for me. And he could have just diverted back and killed the planetary fortress, and then it would have been a lot better outcome for him. But right now, that really hurt him because that is Muteless that he doesn't have right now. He's down to 9. Compared to the same level in game 1, he was almost at 30 at this point.
Yeah, I mean, that engagement, I think it was a little bit overextending himself. Again, having the banelings in the position that they were in was not the best. Maybe he could have perhaps used them to flank around from this side while all the Marines had come out, but heck, I thought he had it as well. There were only 2 tanks, and he unfortunately just did not target down the tanks. The banelings just did not live through that. So now the Mutas trying to do as much as they can, trying to maintain some map control, denying vision at the towers. We do see this base up in the northeast, and I almost am surprised that he hasn't maybe thought about getting that gold just based off of how he has aLive postured here. So there's still not a whole lot of tanks out. Only 2 at the front. We've got a lot of Marines out here, but again, some nice banelings. Would love to see Burrow come out here by Red. I do like the infestors that are on their way, but yeah.
I would have loved to see aLive push out after that because Rhett realized that he took a big hit there and he hurt himself. So what he did, he built 18 drones, which is, you know, pretty cool, I suppose. And he instantly saturates a 4th base. And he was down to literally 30 lings and just those 9 Mutilers. And he was really cutting corners there and was being a little bit greedy, but aLive, obviously, we got the super camera, didn't really know about that, and I'm sure if he had, he definitely would have moved out and potentially killed Rhett. We do have a drop in the top right and the left-hand side, so double drops are going to come now into the main base and onto the back base, but look, Mutilus, are they going to... Oh, they do.
Yeah, he finds it, he takes it out, 4 Marines are dropped, but it's not going to matter. Maybe 1 Muta does go down. Now we do have the drop on the west side as well. And Adrenal Glands is being researched, of course, making those lings that much more efficient. They're also going to see this army moving forward that only consists of how many tanks here? 5 tanks and several Marines. In fact, we've got about 76 Marines, and the lings are going to go in for a potential counterattack. No, they're going to turn around and go after the Marines. Don't like that idea, but he will force positioning here, and the Terran does move away from what their intended target was.
And there is a drop now into the main base, and he may be able to get the Spire here, which could be incredibly large. He's got plus 2 attack. These will go down. There are no units anywhere, and he has to pull drones. It's going to go down. Oh, it transfuses, but it's still going down.
It's still going to go down. And that actually will put Rhett back quite a bit. Now, will there be a counterattack at the same time? As you can see, this force mobilizing over to the side. It could be a great opportunity to try to swing in here, take out one of these, but he doesn't really know much about the army that exists beyond this, with his a ton of infestors, a ton of lings, banelings, the corruptors now starting to come out, but they're not going to be too effective. And here, he's going to push forward. The tanks siege up, and the tanks are the front line. They all go down. Are there any banelings left? The Thors will fire away, but oh my God, huge fungal, and the Marines will go down. Is there anything to clean this up?
Oh, aLive. He just walked into that. All his tanks were unsieged, and Rhett takes a humongous lead in this game. Even though there are a lot of units left, Rhett has such a fantastic economy where, I mean, he still has all these infestors left. He has spine crawlers left. He has, right now, 27 banelings. Rhett is in fantastic position.
Oh, and the fungal goes off. Oh, aLive loses everything, and he's pretty much just got a Marine force. He's trying to take the gold, and I can't believe he didn't just try to retreat after that. Instead, he loads up 2 medevacs full of 16 Marines and continues to push forward, where I feel like he lost that engagement and was not ready to attack. Now the lings do have Adrenal Gland. The gold is going down, but there's just basically Marines out right now for aLive. 2 tanks in the back.
Yeah, his macro is really good though, so he's now taking the gold base with the Planetary Fortress. That will go up. Rhett will not be happy about that as he sees it with the Xel'Naga Tower and immediately sends out Lings. He may try to go around the back here to do some harassment. A drop is on the left-hand side for aLive as well. We want to go into the main base, and Ultralists are on the way now. 5 are about to pop out, and combine them with the Infestors, that is a lot of damage.
Yeah, the chitinous plating on the way as well. This drop is going to try to go back in. Now, I guess the question is, what would be his next intended target here? Where did the Spire go? It is now inside the natural, going to be a much harder place to go ahead and snipe. And here we've got a bunch of Lings. Oh, 2 tanks, not sieged up at all. That is going to be another big loss. Oh!
Picks them up, but SCVs, I guess that's, I don't think aLive would like that trade. Loses a lot of SCVs there, and the drop is into the main base. 2 Banelings, 3 Banelings, clean it up, and 1 Ultralist could maybe clean these up. And Ling's still doing incredible amounts of damage to that SCV line.
Yeah, I mean, he's trying to he also did attack here at the northeast position, but again, we saw Rhett completely ready for this, or for that little drop. So taking a quick look at the supply, it is a max supply here for the Zerg player Rhett at 200. aLive is sitting at 173, 78 drones for Rhett, and 56 SCVs for aLive. Most of his army consisting of Marines, but 9 more tanks are out on the field.
That tank line is really long. Oh my god.
He's going in for it though, and the tank line actually in an interesting position. It's just getting eaten alive. It's like Pac-Man and a bunch of pellets here, and a huge funnel goes down. The Ultras will rip through the Marines and should be enough to clean this up, but the Planetary,
these 3-3 Marines, even though they are 3-3, are going to go down. He has to retreat to that, but the macro of aLive is really good. But I think that Rhett just has too much. These units are on walking move command.
Oh, and they just get eaten alive, and now he could just walk right in. He doesn't even care about that gold base. If he can stop any reinforcements here and start to eat at the production of aLive, this game will be over. There's a Nidus Worm going down to try to get these units over to this base much quicker, and that should cause aLive to basically not be able to reinforce quick enough. He does have a couple of tanks sieged up here, but this is just not a good situation.
And it looks like Rhett is on the verge of being our first contestant into the round of 8, and now into the production line of aLive. All the barracks go down, and where they go down, we may see aLive out of this tournament. I know he will not be happy about that.
He will not, and here he is just eating from the inside of aLive's base here. Just, I mean, these Marines are doing the dance. A couple more tanks go out, but this just looks like an act of desperation, trying anything that they can do to keep aLive. You've got to imagine that this base is going over here, and these Ultras have absolutely nothing is going up against these. They're just eating everything alive.
I mean, aLive may be able to clean this up eventually, but look at all these Lings and Ultras, reinforcements, DJ Week coming up the right-hand side lane. That is not a pretty sight for aLive, who has almost minimal barracks right now. He's down to 6 barracks at the 24-minute mark. That's not standard.
We've got more Ultras moving into position, going to try to take this gold down. Of course, the natural has been destroyed as well, and this should go down here. And there it is, gold base is down. That means the only true mining base is over here, and I have a feeling that that's the next target for Rhett.
Yeah, Rhett is on the same form like we saw him in the Blizz Invitational right now. He is playing so well, and Marauders are coming into the mix now to help fight against these Ultralists, but here is the next location, DJ Wait. It is the top left, and there is a drop on the right-hand side. aLive not giving up, though. He is going to drop here, and there are 2 Broodlords, which unfortunately are going to clean this up for aLive.
And here we go, attack into this 3rd base. If this goes down, there's no more mining bases for aLive. He instantly gets a cancel on the CC building, and there it is. The Planetary is firing away, but it goes down. The Ultras stake their claim for this base, and aLive is just certainly he's on his last leg here.
Yeah, I mean, he sees this and can't do anything. Unfortunately, Broodlords can't attack Medivac, so he is going to continue with this drop, though. An Infestor is there as well. And let's have a look at the income tab. 0,
yeah.
0.
7 Harvesters right now. What does he do? He doesn't even have, he has the 1 orbital, putting some mules down. He's not going to give up quite yet, trying everything. He's going to use this last little Marauder force here with the Medivacs to try to do it. And there is some micro to try to get those down, back and forth. fourth, and he will get rid of the medevacs here at the front. So staying alive, trying to reestablish this gold, but at this point, 3 more ultras coming out. The income right now has started to shot back up for aLive, but he's going to be on a mineral-only income and only has 27 gas at this point. He's moving forward, Fungal does go down, and here comes some more Marauders.
Oh, and actually, these Ultralists are going down rather fast here with tank backup as well. And there are only 3 Ultralists in production. More Fungal Growths are coming out, but these 3 upgrades make Marine and Marauders pretty good, DJ Wheat.
Another Fungal comes out, and yeah, I mean, I feel like actually some Lings would be quite good in these engagements as well, as here comes more Ultras. Moving into position, gonna immediately just start going after those tanks. He does take 1 out, and there will be a little bit more time before any of these tanks can be reinforced because there's still no gas coming in.
Oh, he's dropping under the Broodlords. They instantly go down, and all of a sudden, Red's gone from hero to 0.
I don't even know how that's possible. I mean, again, the income is like nothing for aLive right now. He like literally is taking in nothing. He's borrowing money from his parents. He's trying to, I mean, there's nothing that he can do right now, but somehow he keeps pushing Rhett back further and further. His retention in units has actually been quite amazing.
And Rhett has just to kind of hide behind these 3 spine crawls for now. Try not to take too much damage to this right-hand side base. Rhett's gold base does go down. If he loses this 9 o'clock base, or should I say 10 o'clock, or I don't know, 2 o'clock base, then he's going to be in a lot of trouble.
But can he? I mean, we've got the Infestors there. Here come a bunch of loaded units. He's going to need more than 6 Marines to try to take this out. And here it is. There's the Lynx coming out, and that might be the final blow. He just needed to get those units together. The Ultralists stop, say, Lynx, go ahead. You take this one out, and the Marines are going to try to go all the way home, way out of range of those medevacs, and that could be it. Again, the income is down to just 200 here for aLive, and Rhett, I think at this point, he can just take this one. With a drop did go in.
Relentless. Another drop here from aLive. Does not want to leave this tournament, and Rhett is actually bringing everything back to defend it.
And the blue base, or excuse me, the gold base is back up, but Rhett does cause the lift to happen, and here comes another big drop. He's going to try to get rid of it, Apollo. He's going in, and he's going after the drones right now. There are a few Lings that are coming on in here, but he will get rid of all the drones. There's actually no reaction quite yet. Here come a bunch of Lings, and he needs to pick up and get out of there. There's no Infestors here, and he does kill an awful lot of drones there. Wow, 91 workers killed, SCVs, 50 drones killed by aLive.
He's dropping again on this 3 o'clock base, DJ Wheat, and he's killing even more drones are going down with these 3 upgrades. Oh my god.
He's, I mean, he's really going through all these. Actually, the
aLive's
Ultra
gold base does go down, though. Finally, Rhett cleans it up.
I mean, I'm surprised Rhett, I think, got a little cautious when he was losing Ultra after Ultra after Ultra, but now I feel like he's got an army where he can just go in, and there he goes. The Ling's starting to stream in here to the main, and aLive does not even, there it is, GG. I'll tell you what.
Well,
aLive, you know, aLive was hanging on the side of the mountain, and we saw Rhett stomping on his fingers, trying to get him to just let go and fall. And